This is the 140 Elvis Isn't Dead conference, right? I am an Elvis fan, and the king is not dead. I'm going to talk about dads being parents. And I took Jeff's advice, and I didn't bring a PowerPoint. So I have to do it myself, plus you get an image of my book, thanks to the great team backstage. Hello, everyone. I'm Bruce Sallan. I'm a dad, a writer, a radio host, and now a first-time author, none of which would have happened without social media, without Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, my websites, and the internet. We have 10 minutes to speak. Seems like not much, but look how much we've learned to do in 140 characters or less. In my showbiz days, I always said that if a screenplay didn't grab you in the first dozen or so pages, there was no point in continuing. Did I mention that I have a book out, by the way? We're going to have a giveaway. I figure, what is a conference without a giveaway? So later on, I'm going to ask a question, and we're going to have a live demonstration about how fast, in real time, the internet works, because all of you are connected, and you will have to find the answer. And I imagine it'll be a matter of seconds before someone shouts out the right answer and has to embarrass themselves by coming up stage to get the book. I love the old saying that we make plans and God laughs. My life couldn't be a better example, especially in the past decade or so. Around 10 years ago, I chose to become a stay-at-home dad, as the mother of my boys chose her career. When we separated a year or so later, I was prepared for the day-to-day chores, but not for society's reaction. Dads are the underrepresented and only remaining minority that is okay to disparage. Just look at mainstream media. We've gone from Father Knows Best to Homer Simpson. When I was a 24/7 full-time dad, moms at the elementary school that my boys went to, because they were 6 and 9 when I was left alone with them, moms would ask me, I swear, without fail, the same question: what do I do all day? Now, can you imagine a mom asking another mom that question? But the odd thing was dads asked also their same question. The dads asked, when was I going back to work? As if taking care of my boys 24/7 with their mom gone and my parents ailing and I'm the only child didn't count as work. I decided that the man's point of view was just not being represented, and I began writing about these feelings and experiences. If you Google parent bloggers, you'll get 20-to-1 moms to dads, something like that. That's my unofficial poll. So I hired a social media consultant, Linda Sherman, who some of you know, I'm sure, and for 1 year she patiently, and with me, believe me, it took patience, she taught me social media. With Linda as my consultant, I got not just a social marketing professional, but also a marketing expert as well. She was a fierce defender of my brand, none of which I understood at the time. I started a short column in a local throwaway paper, and it led to a bigger column called A Dad's Point of View, which eventually grew to be carried in over 100 newspapers and websites. The column led to a radio show, which is now carried on an internet radio network called the Positive World Radio Network, and 3 AM stations in 3 different states. Okay, let's get the book giveaway question out of the way so we have a little time in case you're not fast. First right answer out loud wins. In what year, keeping this to topic, was Father's Day made a permanent national holiday? Hint, the answer can be found where it rhymes with Expedia. You're the winner. How long was that? About 2 seconds? Where is he? Where is he? Come on up. That's impressive. I thought it would take 10 seconds. Well done. What's your name? Jeff. Wow. It says 1966 for Lyndon Johnson. I'm referring to Wikipedia. He declared it, but Nixon proclaimed it a national holiday. So, but of course, that's part of the fun of the internet. You can get into a debate instantly with different facts. Anyway, I learned social media. I wrote, and it took me places literally that I never imagined, like India and Ghana. In Ghana, I became friends with kids at a school in a place called Agana Swedru. That's what I spoke about at the 140 conference in LA. And I wrote about them, and they started a book club called the Dad's Point of View Reading Club, and listeners of mine and readers sent them boxes and boxes of books. It was amazing. You can find them on Facebook. They're called the Africa Zebras. And follow them. It's a great story. I met people from all over the world. It brought the world to me in a way that reminded me of my old days when I worked at ABC Television back in the go-go 80s. And at that time, I'd come to New York twice a year for what was then called the upfronts. But now I was connecting to the whole world from my laptop. I started a Facebook page named after my column, A Dad's Point of View. We got over 3,800 likes from around the world. What was the #1 city represented? Because they give you that information now as an administrator. To my shock, it's alternated between 3 cities: Los Angeles, Dallas, and Mumbai, India. That's the power of the internet. Twitter and LinkedIn became part of my arsenal of networking outlets. I joined Matt Collier's famous tweet chat, blog chat, and found it a wonderful resource of learning, networking, and what I call brain exercise. You try to follow 5,000 tweets in 1 hour. That's more than one a second. It inspired me recently to start my own Twitter chat, which is called A Dad's Point of View, POV, which is each Thursday evening from 9 to 10 p.m. East Coast time, and I invite all of you to join. However, tonight it is going to be dark because I am taking my son, who is right down there, taking video and pictures of me, and who, in fact, at 14, drew the cartoon images on the book. Thank you, Aaron. I am taking him to see Mary Poppins. Aaron. To keep it a family affair, my older son's a rock and roller. He made a music video for me, for my book. Who has a music video for his book? It's wild, and it's on BruceSallan.com if you want to see it. It's really incredible. He's a drummer, a singer, a guitar player, and a 17-year-old teenager. Need I say more? Anyway, all these efforts with social media, they paid off, as Cision recently had a Father's Day list of the top dad bloggers, and I was number 5 out of 50. Chris Brogan and his Dad-O-Manic was number 1, just to give you a little point of reference. My own website, BruceSallan.com, it grew during this journey, and it's my first line of expression. A book seemed the next logical step when self-publishing emerged from the shadows and gained respectability. I knew it was time for my book. That process I also call brain exercise, but it was also emotional frustration. The writing was easy, but learning the technical aspects was frustrating and painstaking. But I got it done. I actually went away for 72 hours alone to a ski resort where I like to go to relax, skied in the morning, and wrote the outline for the book in 72 hours. The next 3 months, we're reducing it from 100,000 words and 360-odd pages to the current published 264 pages, and going through figuring out how to get an iBook published, Nook, Kindle, PDFs, self-published, PR, and of course to use what little or what good social media clout I have to promote it. And I've done my best, and we will see. It just came out May 31st, and I am hoping it does well. At the very least, I had a journey once again, which is what social media and the internet has done for me. It's taught me things. My original purpose and mission was to give dads equal exposure on the web, to fight back against some of the pervasive stereotypes, to influence and impact others, to learn and be impacted by others, and very #1 on my list, to give back to the world. I was blessed to have a successful showbiz career, so I do it on my own terms. I'm going to continue to do it on my own terms. But giving back to the world, as one of my columns talks about, is all about you get so much more when you give. I can't begin to say how much you get when you give. I don't do it for that reason, but it's benefits you never expected. I was a big brother before I became a parent, and the child that I was matched with shared none of my interests. It was a prep course for having my own 2 boys who don't share any of my interests. Instead of trying to force them to be like me, I had that background from having been a big brother to a little girl for 9 years. She's now about 32, and a elementary school teacher in the Bay Area. So we've stayed in touch since she was 8 years old. That's 20, I don't know, I can't do the math. It's way beyond my pay grade. But she has stayed in touch, and she taught me patience. She taught me that whether or not kids share your DNA or you adopt them, it doesn't matter. They're not you, which is why I wrote a column, Kids May Share Your DNA, but they're not you. So social media got me to all these places in less than 3 years. I am one lucky, grateful dad. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
and thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Elvis.